Do I absolutely have to obey an eviction notice? I received an eviction notice from the management company of the apartment building I'm living in now. The contents of the notice read that I'm 3 months in arrears of rent. That was why I was to move out by the end of this month. Let me tell you first that I am not in arrears of rent. That's why this is troubling. I wonder if it was a mistake by the management company. That's what I thought, so I made an inquiry. I found a phone number on the website, so I called the number. Hello, my name is Alyssa, and I live in apartment A, room 402. I received an eviction notice. I thought there might be a mistake, so I called you.
I'm Joe. I'm M Management. Yes, you must be Alyssa. Well, here I see that you have been behind on your rent for 3 months, so we have no choice but to ask you to move out by the end of this month.
Well, that's the funny thing. I don't remember being behind on my rent. I'm sorry to trouble you, but could you please check again?
I checked again. No matter how many times I check, you are still in arrears.
But I've been paying my rent. The rent is set to autopay, so...
However, it may not have been deducted from your account. We haven't received a single penny. Why don't you try checking on your side too, Alyssa?
Of course, I've checked my account too. I've confirmed that I have already paid it. After this argument had been going on for a while, I received surprising words from the management company.
Alyssa, I understand that you don't want to leave, but we have our rules too. I'm sorry, but could you please leave quietly? We can't just rent you the house for free.
What? I'm really paying for it.
As long as we are not able to confirm your payment, I can only ask you to move out. If you continue to lie, or if you continue to insist on staying, we will take appropriate measures. I'm sure you have a job. Wouldn't you be in trouble if your company found out about this?
He called me a liar just like that. And then, of all things, I was threatened when I called the management company. I want everyone to believe that I haven't lied at all. I even have proof that the money was deducted from my account. I'll have to talk to the management company directly, or it's going to be difficult to solve this problem. Assuming that I'm lying like that, and threatening me about what would happen if I don't. I'm just so angry and upset. What in the world does it mean that there is no record of payment? I wonder if this phone number is the correct management company, and I went back to read the documents I received when I moved into the apartment. The name and the number of the management company were correct, so I don't think it's a scam or anything like that. I have lived in this apartment for almost a year. I've had no problems until today, so I'm very surprised. I thought it was a rather nice apartment, and I thought they were doing a good job. It would be terrible if I paid so much and they've made a mistake, so I decided to call them again. If possible, I'll ask them to come to my house and talk to them directly. I hope you will cheer me on so that things work out. I had a direct discussion with the management company. I'm exhausted. I think it was the management company's mistake after all, but the problem hasn't been resolved yet. After that, I called the management company again. I checked again, and as I thought, my rent has been deducted from my account. I don't think this is going anywhere over the phone, so would you please have someone come to my house in person? I asked.
I am the person in charge, and I would be happy to talk to you directly, but I will only tell you the same thing.
I was treated like a pain in the ass, but I couldn't back down. As a result, the person in charge came to see me. That day, the person who came to my house was in his late 40s or so. He had a very serious face from the beginning, even though it was our first meeting.
Are you Alyssa? I can only say what I told you on the phone. I have no proof of your payment, so I have no choice but to ask you to leave.
For some reason, from the very beginning, he was trying to argue with me. I had no intention to fight with him. I wanted to keep things peaceful, so I said, "Well, I would like you to look at this. This is proof that I've been paying my rent," and I showed him the bank book. He looked at it, remained silent for a moment, and then said,
"But we haven't been able to confirm it. This might be a forgery. You've had that time, haven't you?"
That's beyond rude, but that's what he told me. Not only did they treat me like a liar, they treated me like a fraud. I honestly didn't know what to do about that. It's my bank book, proper evidence, so I didn't think they would call it forgery. In the end, even after talking to him directly, the situation hasn't changed, and the man left. They really made it sound like I was the one who was the trouble. Even if my innocence was proved later on, the people of the management company was most likely going to treat me like a dangerous person. I also said I wanted to talk to the owner directly, but then they told me that the owner entrusts everything to the management company. They don't try to listen to me at all. That's why I'm even more in trouble. The guy who came to see me even threatened me again. It was the worst.
I know we talked about this on the phone. We really don't want you to stay here if you've not paid your rent. Please move out as soon as possible. Or, can you pay for 3 months at once? If you don't choose either option and continue to stay, I have no choice but to contact your company. No, I don't want to pay twice as long as I've already paid. Why is my company involved in the first place? I even showed you proof that I've been paying. What more do I have to do to make you believe me?
I've done my research too. The result is the same. So there is no other way but for you to leave or pay. We don't want to make a big deal out of this. Will you just sign the papers and leave?
I have no intention of leaving. I'm not going to leave. I've paid my bills, but you can call me a liar and try to kick me out. You have to be joking.
We're in trouble even if you say so. Anyway, please decide by the end of this week what you're going to do. Next week, we will take strong measures.
The guy said that and left. I couldn't bring myself to stop him. I'm getting sick of it. But I can't just back out, can I? I have a friend who is a lawyer, so I'm thinking of asking her about it. If I don't do anything, I won't know why. But the fact that he's that angry, it makes me wonder if I'm the crazy one. If that's the case, why is the bank book showing that I've paid? It's really a mystery, and the mystery only deepens. I can't sleep because I'm so curious. I'll just have to hang in there for now. I'll come back to tell you if there is any more progress. Thanks for listening to my story. I'm finally able to settle up with the management company. I consulted with my friends who works as a lawyer and found out a terrible truth. I really couldn't believe it, and I'm still very angry. I knew I had been paying my rent, and I'm sure that the rent has been deducted from my account too. I was sure that the management company was receiving my rent, and yet, in order to get rid of me from this room, they are lying that I haven't paid my rent. As for why they want to kick me out, I have to ask them directly. So I'm going to go to the management company tomorrow with my lawyer friend, but from the information I have at hand, it's most likely that he's lying to get me out. I don't remember doing anything against the management company though. I just don't know what it all means and I'm confused. I don't think I would have made it this far on my own. I would have just given in and moved out, but now I have a glimmer of hope. I now know that it is the management company that is to blame. To say the truth, I don't want to see that person in charge again. I'll have to be as aggressive as possible. There's not a single factor that can make me lose. I'm glad I have my lawyer friend. Plus, if they come clean and admit their wrongdoing, I'll be able to get my life back to normal. I could possibly get alimony too. I don't know exactly what's going on yet, but I'm pretty sure they're lying. Everything depends on our meeting tomorrow. I hope everyone will support me again. There was a deep, dark side to the management company, as you might have expected. Well, I would like to say that, but the reason they tried to evict me was too improbable. I'm not sure if you will believe me or not. I called the person in charge again, and the three of us, including my lawyer friend, talked it over. Showing her skills as a lawyer, my friend was able to start off the conversation smoothly.
We have been informed that Alyssa here is in arrears with her rent, and has been served with an eviction notice. However, as you can see, she is not a day behind in her payments. I'm sure you've received the money as well.
The management company representative looked uncomfortable and said,
I didn't hear anything about you hiring a lawyer.
His reply was not an answer at all. She is a friend of mine, so I asked her for advice, but I found out that you are at fault, so I decided to officially hire her. Anyways, why don't you stop calling me a liar and start telling us the truth? When I pushed him, he just kept silent. Then my friend said to him,
If you continue to make bad choices without admitting the truth, we will sue you. If that happens, the company itself will be in danger. A management company that doesn't have thorough management is meaningless.
She was pushing him further. Finally, the man began to admit his fault.
I'm sorry, I was the one who was lying.
Why did you tell such a lie?
There's actually someone who wants the corner room you're living in.
What do you mean?
The person who wants to do this is someone I am personally indebted to. That's why I wanted to vacate the room that she was living in. So I tried to evict her by lying to her that she was behind on her rent.
I was astonished to learn this fact. To be honest, I still can't believe it. For such a ridiculous reason, I had been called a fraud and a liar. Apparently, this was not the idea of the management company as a whole, but the sole decision of this man.
The company knows nothing about this. I was personally asked to do it.
That's what he said.
Then you admit that everything up to this point has been a lie on your part and that Alyssa is not at fault in any way? Yes, I admit it. I'm sorry.
The guy said so and bowed his head to apologize, but I couldn't forgive him so easily. My friend understood how I felt too.
Alyssa is requesting alimony. Can you pay it? She asked, to communicate my feelings to him. The man looked confused.
Alimony? But if I admit my fault, you said you won't sue me.
He tried to dodge the question. I was getting more and more frustrated by his attitude. We meant that we won't sue the company. You will be held responsible. That's what I told him, aggressively. The man's face turned increasingly pale.
But if you do that to me, eventually the company would find out and I'll be fired. Then, in the end, I won't be able to pay the alimony or even make a living. I am estranged from my parents and have no siblings. At my age, I can't afford to lose my job.
But you tried to take away my place for your own, very personal reasons, didn't you? And now you say you'll apologize so we shouldn't sue you? Isn't that a little too convenient?
I understand that, but I am truly sorry. I will never do something stupid like this again.
I'm sorry, but I can't let you get away with this. I will not change my mind about requesting the alimony.
No, please!
The guy went completely pale at my words. I'm not the kind of person who can let bygones be bygones. My friend also told me that it was a natural course of action to ask for alimony. Even if he apologized in words, I felt that he was just trying to save his own life and had no remorse.
I'm so sorry for deceiving you. I will do anything, even get down on my knees, so please don't let the company find out about this.
Like that, no matter how many times I said no, he persistently begged. In the end, my friend got me out of the situation.
I'll let you know what happens next in writing. We'll be off then.
By saying that, and ending it, she managed to release me. I'm sure that guy is probably scared right now, but I was bothered by something I didn't do all along, so I can't be punished for it. I never thought I would get myself into this kind of trouble, and I think it was the worst experience I've ever had. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have my friend. I am so glad I did what I could before giving up and crying myself to sleep. I know that guy is going to have a tough time from here on out, but that's none of my business. My friend was surprised at the truth. Maybe he has a criminal record? Well, there's no way for me to know that. I mean, I really don't want to be involved anymore. As for the alimony, I'm going to leave it all up to my friend. I'll never see him again, and I won't be in direct contact with him. I'm glad I can finally get back to my peaceful life. It seems my friend will be contacting the company as well. I think it's inevitable that the guy will be fired. The company wouldn't want to be sued, so they're probably going to have to cut that one guy off. I don't want to make a big deal out of this, and as long as he gets what he deserves, I'll be happy. He really didn't expect me to hire a lawyer because in these matters, legal fees like hiring a lawyer can be more expensive. Maybe there are many people who really do cry themselves to sleep. I don't think there are many cases like this, but luckily my friend works as a lawyer, so it was easy to talk to her. I had no hesitation to take the first step. Thanks to her, I am relieved that I was able to solve the problem early. Thank you all for listening until the end. Thanks to you, I've calmed down quite a bit. From now on, I'm going to work hard again, make a living, and live a life free from this kind of trouble.